Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Last night, some nasty storms moving through the area, all with this front. Still some showers possible today. I'll show you which parts of the area stand the best chance of seeing those showers.
And 7 people were hurt after a serious crash in Raleigh. We'll tell you how flooding played a factor in that.
And a nationwide strike is happening now in Israel as pressure mounts to free hostages held by Hamas. The talks happening today with U.S. officials.
Also, people traveling for Labor Day could face some delays because of weather. The good news, though, when it comes to those gas prices and where they stand this morning in North Carolina. Get things started here nice and early for you on our Monday, a Labor Day Monday, a holiday for a lot of folks. If you're up with us early, we thank you. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey in for Renee Chu. Thanks for joining us. I almost got stuck last night. I was flying back into RDU and there were thunderstorms.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to circle for like an hour before they let us land.
Oh, yeah. It was a wild show. A lot of folks were hearing that, maybe woke up to it, maybe hadn't gone to bed yet and couldn't because of what was happening. Chris Michael is in the WRL Severe Weather Center right now. We're a little past that now. It's good.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just kind of dealing with some of the fringe effects of last night's storms, one of which is the humidity. You see some mist, some drizzle out there, dew points in the 70s. So there's still plenty of moisture around for some remnant showers to develop today, but it's not going to be nearly as hot. And I don't expect those showers to be nearly as strong as they were yesterday evening. Here's the hour by hour for your Labor Day. And you see that chance for some scattered showers and rumbles of thunder really any time between now and about 4 p.m. today. It's not to say it's going to be raining all day. Futurecast, though, showing by about 10 o'clock, I think it's overdoing things a little bit. I will say that. There's not a whole lot of energy to provide that much rain, but the location of those showers looks like it'll mostly be near and to the south of the triangle today. I'll show you when humidity levels drop and when we could see morning temperatures in the 50s again coming up.
All right, thanks, Chris. And we're taking a live look at the roads right now as some scattered showers are sticking around after those severe storms last night. This is a look right now at 440 East and Raleigh from the WRAL Storm Tracker. The roads are definitely wet. You can see the windshield wipers going a little bit there. We'll continue to keep an eye on conditions as it is going to be a very busy travel day on the roads.
And that flash flooding caused a crash in Raleigh that injured 7 people, 2 of them seriously. Part of Wake Forest Road was blocked off last night as police investigated this crash. It involved 3 cars, and one of the cars was crushed in the front, airbags deployed. Police say they responded to several weather-related calls yesterday, including hazards, closures, and crashes.
And flash floods are also cause dangerous travel for drivers on Highway 70. Look at this. This is flash flooding near Ebenezer Church Road. Some cars tried to turn around and got stuck in the high water.
Summer travel season is wrapping up as people across the nation celebrate Labor Day today. This travel period has been a record-breaking one. And WRL's Laura Levine is live from Kildare Farm Road in Cary, where experts say low gas prices might stick around through fall for us. Wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't that be lovely? Well, good morning, Jeff. We know the holiday weekend is wrapping up, and we're expecting to see more people make stops at the gas pump. Good news, as you mentioned, that we are seeing gas prices anywhere from 35 to 40 cents cheaper than they were this time last year. Millions of people were on the roads this weekend, getting in one last trip this summer during this long holiday weekend. And it's been a record-breaking summer travel season in the skies and on the highways. The AAA's morning report today shows North Carolina's average price for regular gas dropped again at $3.10. Now that's 20 cents cheaper than the national average.
As demand goes up, prices tend to follow. I don't think we're going to see a huge spike or anything. That's barring any kind of natural disaster, a hurricane. That would be the only thing that would cause it to have a huge spike. But we're looking pretty good for us to be paying the cheapest we have for this holiday in the last 2 to 3 years.
And after this holiday, that means that the prices could remain low for quite some time until the holiday season picks up back in November and December. AAA also saying the best time to get on the road is before 10 a.m. They're expecting the busiest time to be between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Also, AAA released its average gas prices for Labor Day about 2 hours ago this morning. The average price nationwide, $3.33 a gallon. North Carolina, we're at $3.11, and Raleigh, closer home, it's $3.18. All of those prices are down more than 35 cents from last year.
And some businesses are keeping their doors open as you celebrate Labor Day. Most Walmart and Target locations will be open today, with store hours varying by location. And clothing stores like TJ Maxx, Macy's, and JCPenney, they'll be open during regular hours, while Gap and Old Navy announced store holiday hours will vary by location. Costco says its warehouses will be closed today.
Today, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris will meet with the U.S. hostage deal negotiating team. This comes as anger is rising in Israel after the discovery of 6 murdered hostages in Gaza, including an American citizen. Hundreds of thousands of people protested across Israel Sunday after the murdered hostages' bodies were recovered. Israel's largest labor union is vowing a nationwide general strike. The Israel Defense Forces say it found the bodies in an underground tunnel in Gaza, and among them, American citizen Hirsch Goldberg Poland. Forensic evidence indicates they had been killed less than 3 days before they were discovered. 3 of the hostages were scheduled to be returned in a ceasefire deal. That has sparked fresh anger against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for failing to secure their release.
Just to reiterate one of your points there, Jeff, yes, it's not just the largest labor union in Israel that's striking. This is a nationwide strike. And showing you right here, this is some images from earlier at Israel's airport in Tel Aviv, Ben Gurion International Airport. People sort of standing around with their luggage because of delays, because of flights being canceled entirely. That was about 3.5 hours ago, but new this morning that flights are actually continuing in there in the airport. So there is some progress being made in that regard. And again, the strike is essentially nationwide, trying to put pressure on Israel's prime minister to come up with a sort of ceasefire deal. And some American leaders even saying this isn't what happened with the hostages necessarily going to derail that effort. In fact, it's going to increase the urgency to meet that.
All right, thanks, Chris. A Wilson man is charged with murder after police say he shot and killed his girlfriend at their home. Police arrested Arnold Farrell Saturday night. He's accused of shooting and killing Haley Barbour. Neighbors say that he shot her through the door while she was on the porch. WRAL spoke with the man who called 911. He did not want to be identified.
Like, why would he do it? I know it can't be Leo. Like, why would he do such a thing? But it never crossed my mind that he would do such a thing.
And Farrell is being held without bond.
Vice President Kamala Harris and President Biden will spend Labor Day in Pennsylvania, co-headlining an event. They'll attend Pittsburgh's Labor Day parade and offer some remarks. This is the first time the two have shared a speaking slot since Biden stepped away from his presidential campaign and Harris got the nomination from Democrats. Meanwhile, Harris's vice presidential nominee, Governor Tim Walz, is set to host labor leaders in St. Paul, Minnesota today, before then traveling to Milwaukee, Wisconsin to deliver remarks at Labor Fest 2024.
And former President Donald Trump will make another stop in North Carolina this week. He'll be in Charlotte on Friday to speak at the fall meeting of the Fraternal Order of Police National Board of Trustees. His visit comes as polls show the election between Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris is basically tied in North Carolina.
4:38 the time right now on your Monday. An NFL rookie is at home recovering this morning after he was shot during an attempted robbery. What police say happened during this attack in a popular area of San Francisco.
And thousands of Boeing workers could go on strike soon. What they're asking for is contract negotiations are underway.
And we give you this live look right now in Durham from the American Tobacco campus. There's a pretty view right there. Clouds and moon there. There are big changes to our temperatures this week. Meteorologist Chris Michaels will tell us what we can expect and when those humidity levels will drop, and a brief taste of early fall. How about that?
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
4:42 now on our Labor Day, and we're tracking some showers moving into areas like Lee County. There's a live look at Sanford, where you just see some light rain. Nothing in comparison to what we saw last night on Dual Doppler 5000. Going to continue to see some scattered light rain showers this morning. Sporadic thunderstorms mostly south of the Triangle here this afternoon. And again, nothing in comparison to what we saw yesterday. Nice cool down for us, though. High temperatures ranging between 81 and 83 for most of the area. Yeah, towards Southern Pines, Clinton, and Fayetteville. going to be the warmer spots in the mid-80s. Humidity levels dropping tonight. That results in temperatures in the low to mid-60s. But beyond that, another front returns, along with the chance for storms. The changes ahead for the weekend coming up.
This morning, San Francisco 49ers rookie Ricky Pearsall is recovering at home after he was shot during an attempted robbery over the weekend. Video shows him clutching his chest and walking to a stretcher after he was shot on Saturday afternoon. Police say the 23-year-old was walking alone when a 17-year-old pulled out a gun and tried to rob him. The two struggled and both of them were shot. The teenager was arrested. Pearsall was on the brink of his NFL debut. It is not clear when he'll make his return to the field.
Federal investigators are looking into a plane crash that left 3 people dead near Portland, Oregon. This crash started a fire which spread to other buildings nearby. It happened just before 10:30 Saturday morning. Video shows the moment that plane crashed, sending a huge fireball into the sky. That fire jumped from home to home. One person was killed in the fire. The pilot and passenger of the plane also died. Investigators say there was no Mayday call. The plane is being moved to a secure facility. 5 families in that neighborhood are now displaced.
President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris say they were not invited to Arlington National Cemetery last week. They're pushing back on claims made by allies of former President Donald Trump, who claim that Biden and Harris ignored a request from Gold Star families. Former President Trump visited Arlington National Cemetery last week on the 3rd anniversary of the deaths of 13 service members during their withdrawal from Afghanistan. In a social media post on Saturday, Harris blasted his visit as a political stunt in a solemn place that is not the place for politics. Trump said Gold Star families invited him and asked him to take pictures with them at graves.
New this morning, Russia targeted Kyiv with a barrage of drone and missile strikes overnight. That's according to the Ukrainian army. This comes a day after at least 30 people were injured in a Russian attack on Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russian forces attacked civilian infrastructure there. Regional authorities say a shopping mall and residential buildings were among the targets.
6 children are being treated for life-threatening injuries after being ejected from a car during an accident in San Antonio, Texas. This happened around 7:30 last night. Witnesses told police the crash happened after an SUV experienced a tire blowout. The driver tried to correct the vehicle and hit a tree. Police say the impact caused 6 of the 7 children inside the car to be ejected. All of them, ranging in ages from 2 to 11, were taken to the hospital. Police say only 1 child was wearing a seatbelt at the time of the accident. 2 adults were also in that car. It is not clear what their conditions are this morning.
The 2024 general election begins this week. The state has started accepting requests for absentee by mail ballots for the November 5th election. Officials will start mailing the ballots on Friday. There are a few big changes since the last presidential election. You'll need to present an approved form of photo voter identification. There's a shorter acceptance window for mail-in ballots, and getting results will take longer than it did in 2020. Our NC Capitol team lays it all out for you online. For a full breakdown on where, when, and how to vote, you can go to the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com.
Workers at Boeing are on the verge of a major strike. The company's contract with about 32,000 union workers expires September 12th. A union leader says Boeing and workers are far apart on all of the main issues like wages, health care, retirement, and time off. Boeing says it will continue to bargain with the union and is confident a deal can be reached. This comes as the company faces other challenges like fatal crashes and design flaws.
This morning, the Paralympic triathlon events are happening in Paris. This is a live look, the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. They were delayed a day, those triathlon events, because of the water quality in the River Seine. Rainstorms that hit Paris Friday and Saturday caused some wastewater to run off into the river, and it caused a rise in bacteria levels, including E. coli. The same concerns forced a delay of the men's triathlon, you might remember, during the Olympics last month.
And here locally, we're seeing a couple showers still sticking around. Temperatures feel really nice, though. Meteorologist Chris Michaels is tracking it all for us, Chris.
Yeah, nice cool down after that system passed through last night, even though it probably compromised some sleep. You're looking at temperatures area-wide 68 to 73. A few stray showers north of Southern Pines this morning. If you're planning on maybe heading to the lake, pack the rain gear just in case. You're going to have some scattered showers out there. And keep in mind, it's also not going to be nearly as hot as yesterday. High temperatures today, they'll range from the low to mid 80s. Here's Futurecast. You see some of those showers building along this front. I think Futurecast is overdoing things just a little bit, but it stands to reason that we'll see occasionally scattered showers and storms. Most of these are going to be near and to the south of the triangle, so you stand a slightly better chance in Harnett County as opposed to maybe areas like Person County today. Heading into the evening, maybe a stray storm left over, but drier air starts to work its way back into the mix. That's going to make things feel a lot more comfortable out there. So the dew point is a measure of mugginess. When it's in the 60s, still humid, but notice heading into the overnight and first thing tomorrow morning, they drop into the 50s. So that's going to feel a lot more comfortable. Check back in with us tomorrow morning. We'll let you know how things are feeling as you head out the door. By Wednesday morning, definitely going to feel like fall in the high country. They're looking at lows in the upper 40s. Here at home, we're looking at low temperatures in the 50s Wednesday morning. This is a nice little brief break in the action, brief break in the humidity. But that does come back into the mix heading later this week. Thursday, a few stray showers late in the day, but another frontal system brings a good shot of rain and storms Friday, some of those lingering into Saturday as well. Beyond that, however, another string of below average temperatures. Now, the best chance of that is in that darker blue Tennessee River Valley, upper Midwest, Ohio River Valley. But even here at home, as we head into this upcoming weekend and early next week, we're looking at the chance for some cooler weather. So we may very well be done with 90-degree heat. I'll keep my fingers crossed on that. I know a lot of you guys have been looking for that kind of relief. And we get that in some fashion today. 83 the high for your Labor Day with some scattered showers, especially south of the triangle. And as that front moves through, highs next few days about 79 to 80 degrees. Wednesday morning is what I'm looking forward to. The low temperatures in the triangle in the upper 50s, back in the 80s with storms by this weekend.
Nice change of pace there, Chris. Thanks. Hey, we're into September.
We are.
A major upset for Coco Gauff at the U.S. Open. The moment she fell to her competitor, Emma Navarro.
Plus, people with DirecTV may notice some of their channels are gone. We'll explain Disney's decision to pull ESPN and ABC stations off the air.
The Raleigh Police Department held a ceremony to remember a detective who was killed in the line of duty more than 100 years ago. The Officer Down memorial page says Detective Tom Crabtree was shot and killed September 1st, 1922. He had served with the department for 9 years. The ceremony held yesterday featured a wreath laying and a speech from Police Chief Estella Patterson.
DirecTV subscribers are unable to watch ABC and ESPN. Disney was unable to reach a new distribution deal with DirecTV before a Sunday deadline. And that's left people unable to watch college football, U.S. Open tennis, and other events. Both sides are pointing the finger at the other for the breakdown in talks. It is unclear how long the dispute will last.
From headache to hero. Beavers are gaining new respect for their role in creating healthy ecosystems. One researcher is even using artificial intelligence to find where nature's engineers are working their magic. Brad Hicks shows you how beavers have gone high-tech.
Emily Fairfax is taking us to a miracle in the Colorado mountains.
This is one of their water highways.
A beaver habitat that was surrounded by the biggest wildfire in the state's history.
So what I'm out here doing today is first checking to see if the beavers are still here. It's been about 4 years since the fire.
The hillsides are still charred, but the beaver habitat is green, lush, and thriving.
We struggled to fight this fire, and we struggled to protect structures of our own, but the beavers here are protecting their house and then this entire wetland ecosystem just through their normal engineering behaviors.
By following the lead of beavers and building on what they've built, scientists believe we can improve our own resilience to wildfires.
It's only very recently that we've really seriously thought about the fact that beavers are preserving thousands of kilometers squared of area during wildfire.
To do that, they need to know where the beavers are, which for decades has meant mapping each beaver dam manually.
it can be thousands and thousands of beaver dams in a single watershed. So this was massively time consuming. We need to be more nimble than that as scientists. So what we're doing now and what my lab is really interested in is using artificial intelligence to find where are these beaver ponds.
With 100 lines of code, she has created a computer that can detect beaver dams. When it makes mistakes, it learns from those mistakes.
It's surprising how fast the machine can learn sometimes. The model's getting smarter and smarter and better at finding the beavers.
Now, what used to take a month can take minutes. And with wildfires becoming more frequent, there is no time to waste.
Beavers are their own kind of fire managers, but we do fire mitigation work too. So it's really important to know where the beaver ponds are so that we can build off of what they've already done. We can't do that if we don't know where the beavers are.
They certainly are busy. You can tell that. Who knew, right? That was Brad Hicks reporting.
It's very impressive.
Yeah.
All right, well, check this out. An annual parade in the Netherlands draws in visitors to its floral displays. The parade is the largest flower parade in the world. 20 teams compete to build the best float using thousands of dahlias to complete the mission. This year's floats included a dog, a robot, skeletons, and action figures. The first Dutch flower parade happened in 1936 in honor of the Queen at the time.
Coco Gauff will not repeat as U.S. Open champion. Gauff lost to fellow American Emma Navarro yesterday in the round of 16. Navarro also beat Gauff to eliminate her from Wimbledon in that same round in July.
You'll have to pay when you take the Go Raleigh bus. The service has started collecting fares to ride again. All Go Raleigh single ride fares are $1.25 per person. People 18 and under and seniors 65 and over still ride for free. Fares had been suspended since March of 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic.
4:57 right now. Severe weather caused some issues for travelers at RDU. We'll tell you how many flight delays and cancellations there are this morning as people head home from their Labor Day vacations.
And massive protests in Israel after 6 Hamas hostages were found dead. The meeting happening today with President Biden and other U.S. officials as they push for a ceasefire deal.
Plus, the changes you need to know about as voting regulations in North Carolina prepare to mail out ballots this week. Your news at 5 is next.